In this video, you're going to learn about creating a frequency budget plan for Dave and Joan using their cash flow analysis from example 1. So when you create a frequency budget plan, you can create it electronically or on regular paper. The example on the left, the frequency budget plan has been created electronically, and it's broken into your expense sections and your income. So at the top, you have your after-tax income categories. Because the money you earn, you don't have it all to spend. Taxes are taken out of your paychecks first, so you only want to include your take-home amount under your income amounts. And then you want to say how frequently you get paid. So for example, on the primary employment, they get paid 24 times a year. So if you take 12 months and multiply it times 2, they get paid twice a month. Secondary employment is only 12 times a year. So that means they only get paid once a month for their secondary employment. And then you take the income amount and you multiply it times the frequency to get the amount for the year. Okay, and you do that with every category. Secondary multiplied times 12 would give you 6,000. And then your total income is the total amount of the income right there. So if you look at your weekly expenses, it's the same situation. You put under the expense amount how much you spend each week. There are 52 weeks in the year, so that you would multiply it times 52, and it would give you a total amount of 9,620. Once you've calculated all your frequencies, you're going to total up that section. Monthly expenses. Okay, so if it occurs monthly, the frequency is going to be 12 because it's once a month. Same thing, you multiply it and it equals, and you end up totaling to get your yearly amount of monthly expenses. Other frequency expenses. So this is based on a year or however many times you pay a year. So medical and dental, they did 601 times a year. Okay, home related, that would be 2 times a year. So you would multiply, that means you would pay $500. You would total your total other frequency expenses. And then to get your total expenses, you're going to add your weekly, plus your monthly, plus your other frequency to get that total. And then the annual surplus or deficit, this would be your total income minus total expenses. And you want this number to be positive, so that way you know that the amount that you're bringing in income-wise is more than money you're paying out for expenses. So what this is just repeating what I just stated. The amount received or given times the frequency gives you the annual amount. So the frequency budget surplus states that Dave and Joan have an annual surplus of 1,284. You see that down here at the bottom of the frequency chart. Right here. Okay. How does this relate to the monthly positive cash flow that we looked at previously? That was computed in example 1. So remember, this was $110 on the example from the first video. So the monthly surplus times 12 would give you a yearly amount. So if we take that 110 and multiply it times 12, it becomes 1,320. Now, when you compare this to our annual surplus down here, 1,284, it's very close. So the monthly positive cash flow from example 1 is close to the amount of 1,284. And the reason this could be different is you build this budget, and this is on what you think you will spend each year. So, or month, or weekly, whatever your budget plan is. So in this example, they probably ended up spending not spending or spending a little more in expenses than they thought on one of these other frequency expense sections.